fourth time. Only 3G. If you were watching the last feed, then you'll know that we dropped out because I couldn't find my wallet. And the reason I put it in a cubby hole that I don't normally use. You know, if you're a bloke, you generally know. We're back. Any good? Give it a minute. Are we working? I don't know. 7 people online apparently. Yes, we're back. There we go. I knew it would come back. Right. The problem was my Wi-Fi was switched on and we were connected to my wife's phone. Cool. Here we are then. It's working now. Right. The answer is don't your Wi-Fi on. Right. I'm engaging cruise control. We're going for it. 70 mile an hour. Cruise control is on. Cool. I'm basically now in a self-driving car. Yes, I did find my wallet. The problem with the wallet was I had put it in a place where I don't normally put things. So yeah, the wallet has turned up, and after our rather excellent lunch, I did buy a new Hot Wheels car as well. Yeah, the wallet has been found. Thank you everybody for your concern about the wallet. It has turned up. Now, I remember this from last time. This road is now really nice and smooth for a while, and we're going to wind our way up into the hills, and then I ended up like on a less good road. So I don't know if we'll do it this time or whether I took a wrong turn last time. But we're heading towards a village called, or a town called Erdene, and that is where we will cross the border into, do we cross into, I think we cross into Greece. Wallet's a relief, exactly. I think we cross into Greece and then Bulgaria, but we're trying to work out what to do. Did you enjoy your nosh? Yes, we did. We had an excellent lunch, thank you. We've had someone who's offered to buy this car in Bulgaria, so that actually suits quite well. It's looking like what we're going to do is drive to Varna in Bulgaria, which is where our other car is stored, sell this car in Varna, pick up the other car, and then drive to Portugal. How about that? Drive to Varna, sell this, pick up the 850, drive to Portugal. Yeah? Everyone agree? Does everyone agree? No, do you agree? If you weren't listening, you got no choice. Do you agree? No.
What's the agreement?
Drive to Varna, sell this car, pick up our 850 TDI, drive to Portugal.
Yeah.
I got one yes, and I got one don't care. Anyone in the comments care to get involved? What car are we in? We're in the Volvo C30 that I drove down to Turkey. And to be honest, as I said earlier on in the feed, it was never really meant to make it that far, but it did. So we've got 2 hours to get, basically here's the situation, ladies and gentlemen. Let me be real with you, right? We've got 2 hours to get to Erdene. That's where the border crossing is. Now, Erdene is where, if we're going to drive to Portugal, that's where we basically take a left towards Sofia to then put us through Bulgaria and onto the main route, you know, towards Portugal. Or if we're going to Varna, we need to go right. So at Erdene, we either need to go left or right. What we're waiting on is a deposit. If this guy pays a deposit for the car, then we'll go right and go to Varna. If he doesn't, then I think I might still go right and go to Varna and go get my 850 TDI back. I think. So I think this is a very sellable car, and I reckon if we can get it into Bulgaria, we can get it sold, and I can bring my 850 diesel back home, or go buy a plot of land in Portugal and put my 850 diesel there. That crazy sky over there to the left. Oh, the C30, I like that. I had one once. Sell it. What are you in next, you lucky bastard? Well, I've got my 850, go far right. My 850 diesel is still in Bulgaria from when we drove it out in the summer. I did indeed find my wallet. It was just in a cubby hole that I haven't used before. So yeah, so we drove out to Bulgaria in the summer, and we kind of had a date that we needed to be back for, but because we were having a good time, we stayed longer than we should have done, which meant there wasn't enough time for us to drive back from Bulgaria. So we flew back instead, because airport parking is very reasonable. And I was, this was, when was this? It was August, wasn't it? July, August. Yeah. And I was thinking, oh yeah, well we'll fly back in, you know, a couple of months and pick up the Volvo, and we never did. So it's been staying there, and every month the guy texts me and sends me another bill for a month's parking, and it's cheaper than storing a car in the UK. So I've just left it there, which is why we've got one car in Turkey and then one in Bulgaria. Is the 850 ready to go? Will it get you home? Yeah, it will. That's a great car, and well, we drove it to where it is from Worcester. Didn't use any oil, didn't use any coolant. So yeah, that's a good car. It's probably not. It might not be as comfortable as this. It might not be quite as economical as this. It's bigger. It's got more space. We are a little bit packed to the rafters with this little C30. Although there is a bike in the Volvo, isn't there? We have left a bike in the Volvo 850, amongst other things. You're heading to Erdene? Yes, Chris, we are. Is there anything that you recommend that we see on the way? Let us know. Anybody got any suggestions for something that we should see? As I say, because the weather hasn't been great, we've just been sort of carrying on through. You know when the weather's good and you want to stop at every little spot? When the weather's bad, you're not bothered. But it's not raining now, because some of you that joined us on the live feeds earlier in the day will know that we had some pretty shocking weather, and it is a balmy 13 degrees. Yeah, the 850 makes sense. Kids not in school. How'd you pull that one off, Geoff? We just took them out of school. We basically realised in January last year that we don't really like the UK, but we especially don't like it in January and February. And we wanted to travel more. We wanted to see some of the world. So we pulled the kids out of school. Just sent them. Well, I mean, we knew the teachers fairly well. It was only a small school, and we had a chat with them, and they were like, yeah, sounds great. Go and do it. There'll be a place here for you if you want it back. And that was a year ago. So yeah, so they're registered as homeschooled. And yeah, Mrs. G does a lot of that with textbooks full of strange names. We did that chat earlier on. I'm thinking of driving to Turkey in March. Going to take a month off work. It's a small camper van, so it should be fun. I can't recommend it enough. Honestly, I'd go for it. The only thing is, you won't want to come back, because if you think about it, if you're going to take a month off and you're going to drive to Turkey, well, in a slow camper van, especially if you want to stop and see things, I mean, you could spend a lifetime driving to Turkey. So I'd probably recommend, if you were going to do that, I would try and do something similar to what I did when I drove out here. Vehicles with foreign plates cannot exit the motorway without paying the fee, it said then. Wonder where you pay the fee then? What exactly? Why did I feel like that flashed up just for us? Don't know. Oh, we're on this motorway for ages anyway. What was I saying then? Oh, police car. Unmarked Audi going rather fast. What was I saying? I was talking about homeschooling. Yeah, so we took the kids out. So last year we did a bit of travel. We'd been wanting to travel for a while. So yeah, we did that whole Sri Lanka thing, went to Malaysia, went to the Proton factory and all that cool stuff. Are we going straight on or are we going? Are we coming off here?
Yeah, we're coming off. It's not right.
That's why I can't keep finding it on my map, because I keep spelling it wrong. It's not Erdene. It's not Erdene. It's not. It's Edern. E-D-I-R-N-E. I thought it was Erdene. Interesting. What was that comment there? Are you going to check out the Far East again in future? Or was that a pass? How far east? I mean, we did buy a house in Bulgaria. We didn't shout about it. We didn't make a YouTube channel about it. We just did it quietly as part of, I think I mentioned it on a couple of live feeds, but it hasn't been on the channel. We haven't really made a big hoo-ha about it. We bought a cheap project house and we have yet to decide what to do with it. It needs a heck of a lot of work, but we don't know. You know, we bought it as an option. Drive across Russia. I would love to do that, actually. Would have really have liked to go from Turkey north and keep going.
I'd like to do the Nordic countries.
Mrs. G wants to do the Nordic countries next. So
This is where we go.
yeah, so this is weird now. So where does this road go? It looks like the road just ends, doesn't it? Right, card and cash.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the bit where they said foreign plated vehicles are not allowed to exit. Oh yeah, this is the one with card. So we have to go in this lane. The petrol is very cheap in Russia because they're not stupid. Oh, I need to fill up before we leave, actually. Turkey's the cheapest place for diesel, so I'll fill the tank.
I think you need to do it yourself.
Yeah, I need to do it myself. I'll give you a hand seeing as I'm there soon, Geoff. Awesome. Is that a 3-day or a 3-week project? Carl Pilgridge is right again. Buying in Bulgaria is good. He'd have doubled Ricky's million. Just catching up on some comments then. Afternoon, Geoff. We homeschooled our youngest. Schools, both state and private, are useless. The only bit that they miss is the like social side. You know, some of them miss their friends. But the stuff that they're teaching in classes, and you know, having to explain to your kids that actually you can't become a girl if you want to, because you know, at the end of the day, it's not possible. It's not scientifically possible. So we were sort of getting to the stage where, I mean, we were at a real small village school, so it's not like we were getting loads of that. I'd imagine if we were in a city, in a big city, then that would be a much bigger deal. But I felt like we were pretty lucky with the schools that we had because the school was so small. But I think for people whose kids go to school in like big towns now,
High school as well.
yeah, and high school as well. And then you got all the other influences coming in from all the other kids and everything. Hi from a wet and muddy Tenbury Wells. Hello. How is Tenbury Wells looking? Are you flooded out?
Of course they are.
We've been looking on the local Bromyard Facebook page, you know, the Bromyard spotted page. Yep, everything's flooded. Been following Zoe F on the move, driving a VW up through Russia. Ooh, can you email me a link to that? I want to check that out. I didn't know about that. The lorry in front of you does 350 kilometers per hour. Whoa. How have you worked that out? Oh, right, you've added it all up. 90, 80, 70, 60, 50. Yeah, I like that. That works. I wonder if we could have gone in that left lane. It's a bit late for that now anyway. That's interesting. Right, there's behind us, ladies and gentlemen, there's a Mercedes CLS on, I think it's on Swedish number plates. And the number plate is just EKO, Echo Kilo Oscar. He'll go past us in a minute because he looks like he's going to go quite fast. But that's interesting. I wonder what the deal is with that, what kind of number plate that is. It's obviously a private plate of some sort. Almost perfect timing, just got back from the dock. Where are you now? Dave, we've just done the big bridge into, basically essentially from Asia to Europe. And now we are heading towards the top of Turkey. We've got about 2 hours to get to the border. Near me, they build loads of warehouses and housing estates on floodplains. What a surprise, it's flooding and causing the river to overflow too. Yeah, and it's basics, isn't it, as well? You know, we're told that, oh, it's climate change. It's not climate change. You just haven't dredged the rivers. You haven't cleared the drains. If you were to dredge the rivers and clear the drains and stop putting concrete where there shouldn't be concrete, then you wouldn't get so many floods. Drove from Nam to Spain, Geoff. Nam, as in Vietnam. You weren't there, man. I just think the world's a big place, and once you get out and about in a car, you realise that you can actually go anywhere you want. Right, hang on a minute whilst we get this sorted. So the guy in front paid 1,125 Turkish lira. Looks like we're going to pay the same. Is that us? 1125?
I assume so.
It's
I'll tell you how much it is. My bank will tell
Also,
me.
my speeding fine was only marginally more than that. When you go on holiday to countries that 30 years ago were crap holes, but now see they're better than the UK, it's just sad. Yeah, wait until you see this road that we're about to go on. For any of you that are in any doubt that the UK has fallen massively behind, yes, I found my wallet. Thank you for asking. There you go. Check out this road that we're about to go on.
£19.
£19 that was. Oh, that's the bridge fee, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because we hadn't paid it, so we paid £19 to go over the bridge. Here we are then, ladies and gentlemen.
We're still in Turkey.
We're still in Turkey. The road is beautiful. Oh, Dave Breen just sent us €10 for petrol. Thank you, Dave. We will spend that on petrol. You can see the ocean up ahead. We're going to the place that's not called Erdene, so we're going to work our way around to the right here. You can see the scenery is huge. Big scenery. I love a big view, I do. A nice big view. And the road is excellent quality. So we're using a magnetic camera mount. I could do with a coffee, I think. Maybe a coffee stop coming further up. Will, I don't know if you're watching, but I can see that you're WhatsApping me. I'll have a look at your messages when I've done the live feed. So we're on this road for 19 miles. This is the D550, if anyone's interested. Heading towards Edirne, not Erdene, and Istanbul, not Constantinople. In Australia, you'd still be in the same state. I know, like, this is what you realise when you drive across Europe like this. You know, for Europeans, the drive that I did when I drove to Turkey is an impressive drive, and yet that was I think it worked out at 2,400 miles that I did in 72 hours. Oh, Conroy's just given us £2. Thank you very much indeed. I can guarantee you will spend it on petrol. When you do a big drive, like this was my thing. I drove to Antalya in 72 hours, and that's 2,400 miles. And I was thinking at the time how much respect I have for these nutters that do the cannonball run, because that's more miles. It's what, 3,000 and something to get across the USA. And not only do they do it in sort of one hit, but they do the whole thing at high speed. Like the level of concentration that it takes to drive at high speed for that amount of time. Yeah, I got down to Antalya and I was just like, wow, I feel like I really understand now just how much of an achievement the cannonball run really is. I'd love to do it, but again, like in the UK, we absolutely do not appreciate just how big these places are. You know, you can drive right up to the top of the UK basically in an afternoon, give or take. Someone just said, do you carry tools? And someone else has said, where are you? Yeah, I've got all sorts. The UK paid for most of the roads when we're in the EU. That's why our roads are shit. Yeah, you are right. Yeah, they do have multiple drivers on the Cannonball Run, but there's a guy who allegedly did it on a motorbike. He reckons he... I got well into... there's a brilliant car channel that you may or may not follow called VinWiki, and they're basically like a podcast channel, and they just do stories, and there's a lot about the gumball, the Cannonball, and people telling their stories. And what's interesting as well is they don't, like, you don't set a record-breaking gumball record and then tell everyone. You have to wait like 18 months because of speeding tickets and fines and getting in trouble and that stuff. Neil McCoy Ward is live. How inconsiderate. He's a bit more serious than me, but I mean, we feel the same about everything. Neil's excellent. He's got a great channel. So if you want to go over and watch Neil McCoy Ward, I won't be offended. Somebody go over there and tell me what he's talking about, and then we can talk about it as well. Two priests did it drunk in a Ferrari. Yeah, they did. Yeah, and then the girls in the Lamborghini that changed colour. No, it's brilliant. That, like, the whole Cannonball thing is fascinating. And like I say, on VinWiki, there's loads of stories about how they do it, what cars they use, how they prep the cars, like all sorts. It's fascinating. Another Tofast Dogan in front. Beautiful roads, Jeff. It says Polo is correct. If I just went a bit too quick through a speed camera, but I think we're all right. I think we're okay now. So, yeah, someone else said, where are we? We are on our way to the northern part of Turkey to meet the border with Greece/Bulgaria. The only surprising thing about MS is they told you M dollar, M5. The only surprising thing about M dollar, they told you. What? I missed that. Hello Moto, remember to dodge the potholes. There was a comment there about driving in the UK just being really painful, and Microsoft officially confirms handling BitLocker keys to law enforcement. Oh wow, is that what he's talking about today? So does that mean that if you have Bitcoin, then the government have your password, basically? Or does it mean that the government know where everybody's BitLocker is? Benefits of driving a camper van. Yeah, I shouldn't get the fines. Our camper van is so unbelievably slow. It's going to be very interesting when we get our first trip out with it. I'd imagine we're going to do one trip and then I'm going to want to change it for a Volvo D5 engine. What's the speed limit, Jeff? Don't know. Not sure. 100 kilometers an hour. I'm doing 110. Northern Powerhouse didn't get a chance. It means they can decrypt your hard drift data. So is that what they're saying then? I'm going to put the cruise control on and read comments. They can decrypt all of your hard drive stuff, but I mean they can. The thing is, I think they could do it all anyway. Like, you should have gone to Crete. I don't think Crete's had very good weather either, though. Like with the Bitcoin thing, I just feel like they know how much you've got. They know where it is. But I'm always thinking about what happens if society collapses, and if you've got millions of pounds on a hard drive, well, that doesn't really help you. But if you've got, you know, physical assets, supplies, weapons, that sort of thing, then that's got tangible value. Like, I get the Bitcoin thing, but also it's been really interesting over the last few weeks and months, whilst people have been panicking about the state of currency, gold and silver and metals have been surging unbelievably, but Bitcoin hasn't. So although people are worried about the state of the economy, they're not putting their confidence into crypto. Didn't get a notification that you were back. There's probably been too many notifications. That's the thing. So when you do a lot of lives like this, I probably will lose a few subscribers because people will go, oh, there's been too many notifications today. But I can't do much about that. Geoff sounds like a precious metals holder. Not in any massive quantities. It's just explained by no one should buy an EV or any modern car. Yeah, absolutely. And you should all have a jerry can. You should have 25 litres of fuel at your house, even if you have to go and buy it from a petrol station and it's expensive. Like we had moments. Do you remember the fuel crisis after COVID? We were down at the barn siphoning diesel out of a scrap Volvo that I had. Are you doing 80 mile an hour? No, I'm doing 70. He's got loads of platinum in cats. Catalytic converters. No, they're not worth as much as they used to be. The last catalytic converter I traded in, I got hardly any money for it. Right, that's enough of the good weather. We're now into rain. So yeah, we got 2 hours before we cross the border. I'm a little bit nervous about crossing the border. Oh, there you go, babe. Greetings from Almeria. The weather's crap here too.
Oh yeah.
So that's where we were thinking of headed.
Yeah, I literally said that.
Yeah, because that's usually the best bet. Would you live in a caravan or a motorhome? Yeah, either. Don't bother me. Loving these videos. Keep them coming. Thank you. I appreciate that. Blue skies where you are going. Well, I don't know, because we don't know where we're going yet. You can trade food and water. Yes, you can. And I think water's going to be the next big thing. We're going to see fighting over water. We have got 2 wells at our Bulgarian property, which is one of the reasons we bought that property. Have some Bitcoin, some sovereigns, and some land, but silly amounts. I agree. Like, too much. The one's an interesting one because, let's say currency fails completely, you do want to have a decent wedge in metal, but at the same time, like, you can't get across a border with it. well, you can, but it's not as straightforward. And land, like, where do you buy it? Because you've got to buy it away from people, but then you're going to need to trade with those. I don't know. I really hope that we get the Mad Max society that we all deserve, and we don't just get digital dystopia. I think we're going to end up with digital dystopia. All the preppers really want the world to collapse so they can use all their supplies and skills. And that's the thing. It's whether we get it. Which modern car is a future-proof car? The one with the least technology on it. Bulgarian gun laws are already favourable. All right. Got a Jenny, half a jerry can of paraffin, and a few gas bottles for an emergency. And again, not enough people. What was that question? There's not been hardly any math videos from users. You're doing your Nomad thing again. Math videos, what do you mean? Yeah, I mean, if you look at my channel, you haven't actually seen my face for ages. I've been making screen recorded auction videos. I don't mind showing you my face. I'm right here, right now. That looks like a cool place. So yeah, this road is going to wind all the way up hill, basically, as we climb in altitude. I wouldn't have any modern cars. I do think you what you want. This maybe needs to be yeah, residency. How do you get the residency in Bulgaria though? I think we need to talk about that. Just because I want it as an option. I think as a Mad Max car, you need something basic. Geoff, you're on the wrong side of the road. How long have you been watching to just tell me that now? You want something simple and you want something big. Like a Mad Max car, a end of the world car, needs to have a large fuel tank, it needs to have a large amount of range, it needs to be diesel, and it needs to be capable. That means not some lowered M Sport car, not a little coupe. You basically need a wagon like a Volvo Estate, or you need something like a Daihatsu 4-track. Fuel injection can be killed, but carbs will be eternal. Yeah, a Volvo 850 would be fine because it's simple. You get Digital Nomad as long as you're earning 27,000 euros a year. How long is the Digital Nomad for?
Get you residency.
Yeah, you keep saying you can get me residency, but you haven't done it yet. You need a Unimog. Yeah, a Unimog would be, but then the thing is with a Unimog is you haven't got the ability to cover lots of ground quickly. That's where I think it's always going to be a compromise. This is where like a Volvo 850 diesel really comes in. He'll sit at 80 mile an hour, he'll 50 miles to the gallon if you're fully. A Unimog is the big Mercedes off-road thing. They're often used by forestry people. And someone said, no, unimaginable, when they break, they're expensive. Yeah, I mean, Unimogs are cool as, but you need that level of practicality. If you're going to be completely off-grid somewhere in the wild, then that's where, you know, that's where a Unimog's probably good. Someone there has said Mark II Ranger, Ford Ranger. What age is Mark II? Because if you go in late 90s, that's probably not a bad shout. Nice rainbow up ahead.
Rainbow.
Dacia Duster, good shout. Lancashire Liberty. I really like a Dacia Duster. It's no secret. I've said this many times on my channel. I'd like a brown one. I would like a brown metallic Dacia Duster. 4x4 Panda, there you go. 4x4 Panda's a great shout. Small, frugal, easy to hide, and yet capable, you know? If you're gonna have bad weather, and at the end of the day as well, like good tyres are more important than anything. You can have the best Land Rover in the world, but if you've got the wrong tyres, you're still not going anywhere. Someone said, has the price of diesel shot up at auctions? Yes, it has. Tony just WhatsApped me earlier on, actually, telling me Tony's at a trade auction today, and I'm sure you're going to see this on his channel. Obviously, EV Carnage, if you don't know. He's been keeping an eye on the prices of EVs at a trade auction, and a brand new Jaguar I-Pace that's just come off lease, that was more than £70,000 new, just went for 14,600. So he said I'll have to look back at his message, but the average depreciation on the EVs he was looking at today is something like 83%. He said there was an Audi. What's the fast Audi? You know, the Audi that's a bit like a Taycan. Is it the e-tron GT? He said one of them went through, brand new, 90 grand. The top bit, the asking bid was 33,000, and this is a low mileage brand, you know, 3-year-old car, and there wasn't a single bid on it. So I'm sure Tony's putting all of that into a video. There's nothing that we don't know, but I think it's fun to keep repeating it and, you know, let people know that that's what's going on. Subaru Outlander, Outback, yeah, or Forester. You've combined the two there, but yeah, good shouts. An older Forester, an older non-turbo Forester would be a great shout.
Do you want coffee?
Do you want to run in and get some? If I leave the feed on? No.
The next one.
Yeah. We're going to stop at the next one, ladies and gentlemen, for coffee. We're not going to stop at this one. So 220 kilometres from Istanbul, not Constantinople. And yeah, the road is absolutely beautiful. Again, like, it's always impressive when you're abroad, because these are dual carriageways. You know, it's not a 3-lane motorway. In the UK, we have 3-lane motorways and they don't work. Someone says, take us to your house in Bulgaria. No, we haven't decided what we're doing with it yet. We'll decide.
Wait, what do you do?
I'm more into the Bulgaria house than Mrs. G is, but the day we bought it, Mrs. G was more into it than I was.
No, because you don't do this, you just do this.
So I don't know. And it's funny because we keep having this same conversation where we say, oh, it's too far from the coast, but it's still closer to the coast than we live in the UK.
Not holding anything. Just
Although the ocean that it's on doesn't get any surf, but then I haven't surfed for like 2 years anyway. The UK just has too many people now. I reckon there's 100 million now, and most aren't counted in the census. If the supermarket said 80 million 10 years ago, is that what the supermarket said? Got 2 kerosene heaters. Kerosene's now banned. Yeah, it is. Yeah, I've thought for a long time that there's something very wrong with the population of the UK, because you can't go anywhere. It doesn't matter where you go. That's the thing. Give her a nice kitchen and a bathroom and she will come around. Do you want a nice kitchen and a nice bathroom, babe?
Yeah, but not there.
Not there. You've got one in the motorhome, you can put that wherever you want. It's the cornfield, mate. You're almost a farmer. Yeah, and I like the corn. You know, we love the corn. It was great. Wait. I'm still live. Are we back? I don't know from there if it's gone. The phone overheated. I know, I'll put the blowers on the phone. Is everybody still there? I didn't realise that it was still broadcasting. I had to hang the phone out the window and cool it down. But there was a police car at the point where I was hanging the phone out the window. It's quite funny. I didn't realise it was still rolling. Oh, we'll carry on rolling then. What about a diesel Jag estate? Did you see the road then? Was it broadcasting when I had my phone out the window? That's funny. The diesel Jag estate, that's the X type. I think they're great, but I just think there's more robust cars that you can buy. That's really funny. So you all literally saw, yeah, everybody watched when I put my phone out the window. That is hilarious. I thought the feed had cut off, so I was like, oh, well, I'll cool my phone down and start again. That's really funny. So now we're back. We're about to overtake a Tesla. Yeah, I've got a cold blower now pointing at the phone, so that should be better.
Very dirty Tesla.
Very dirty Tesla with a big dent in the back as well and missing half its trim. Is Dacia easy to fix? Yes. Peugeot 504, great shout. One day Apple will catch up and put cooling in their phone. Yeah, they probably will. You guys seen the new Renault 5 electric? Don't like EVs, but that car is a looker. Yes, I have, but look at the range of it. Can you get a Lada Cossack 4x4? Yes, they make them new, don't they? You could still get a new one, but they're not cheap. I mean, you can get one in the UK, and more people should, because it's way more capable than a Land Rover. But yeah, you have got to consider parts availability, but again, it depends what parts you're going to be looking for. I thought you threw the phone out the window. It's been done before, but not today. Right, let's play a game of what country is this camper van from as we approach it. Oh, it actually might be a Turkish one. I thought it was going to be German. It is Turkish and tailgating the Vauxhall Corsa. Oh, that's because of the cones that I didn't see. Because of the police there. Well, why did they? I didn't see those cones at all. There we go. That was good. Show Geoff some love and like this video. Yeah, do that. Click like on the video. Hey, look, there's the next petrol station. That one that we were going to stop at. Should we go to the next one? Well, I did want a coffee, and then I got talking to people, and now I'm okay. Do you see many British drivers? No. Oh, that's a noisier road. Okay, we're back on the normal bit again. Someone said, do you see any British cars? I've seen, there was a Range Rover L322 parked at the hotel when I was there. I saw a couple of Mercedeses with very much Turkish looking people driving them. But no, not many British cars at all. And this Volvo is a funny one because you don't see many of them. Well, you don't see many of them in the UK. And I think as well, the other thing about this is this Volvo looks really smart. So I don't think people really know what it is. It's quite amusing, really. And then obviously it's got its English plates on. And we have got a UK badge on the back. We are legal, but the UK badge is really small and it's up in the top corner of the window. So I guess people don't really notice that either. So yeah, interesting. The UK has more cones. The amount of cones in the UK is insane. Last time I drove back from Wales, I was astonished at the amount of cones. Part 4, are you having a giraffe? Oh, it's the sporadic squirrel. Going past the army. I love that the army still use Land Rovers. Still use old Defenders. Right, I'm supposed to be doing 70 and I'm doing 100. So I should probably slow down a bit. I don't want to get another £28 speeding fine, do I, darling? 28 quid.
You obviously drive too fast.
Yeah. My two prepper cars. 2004 RAV4 diesel, pre-DPF. 2002 Golf PD. Yeah, I agree. And you want the big wheels as well. The big tyres. So you want like 15-inch steel wheels with big fat tyres. I just ordered a mobile home on an Isuzu 4x4 chassis truck for 52,000 quid. Have you actually? Can you email me about that? Yeah, so there's a guy commenting, babe, called the Sporadic Squirrel, and I know him through Facebook. We often chat about stuff, and he often talks about the frequency thing that I talk about.
Yeah. And
he'll message me screenshots of it when the frequencies are like way out, and he'll be like, "How you doing, Geoff?" Knowing that I'm completely crazy. It's quite funny. And the one the other day when we had all that crazy sun activity, he bought a full-size giraffe for his lounge. So he's the same as me. So shout out to you there, Sporadic Squirrel. I appreciate all your messages. I appreciate everyone's messages. I think some people think that I don't reply to people, but I get a lot of emails, but I always try to reply to people. And those of you that message me on Facebook and whatnot, yeah, great, love it. Yeah, I appreciate it. So I finally caught one. Hi, Geoff and family from Australia. Hi, Les. How you doing? A bit warmer where you are, I think. Where are you at? 46 degrees?
Too hot.
Did you consider crashing into that van. I did consider crashing into that van actually, and then I decided not to. The Schumann resonance, that's it. Did you consider boats as part of your escape? No. Oh my gosh, someone says the sunshine in Gloucestershire. No, I didn't consider a boat because I find the idea of a narrow boat very confining. I'm just being a bit careful here because this car on the left, I'm not sure what it is. It's badged as a T-Ox, but I know that the police here use these. But it looks like he's going left. Yeah, it's obviously a Chinese thing. Right, where are we going? Erdene that's not called Erdene. Oh, I've got to go over there. It's me that's in the wrong lane. I apologise. I just pulled in front of a Chinese EV. Narrowboats. I don't like being cold. And narrowboats, I mean, the whole problem with the boat is it literally sits in the water all the time.
The shop's called Coctus Fix.
Coctus Fix?
Yeah.
Why is that funny?
Because it's got the word cock in it.
What does that mean?
Means you willy. Stormy and windy here in Blackpool. Canal boats. Yeah, you're always cold because they sit in the water, and obviously the water, you know, you're protected from the water by metal, and metal gets cold. So it's always going to be a battle to keep heat in your boat. But also, you can only go up and down the canal. So like a narrowboat is like a motorhome that can go less far. Although it's difficult to live in a motorhome in terms of like toilets and stuff, I just feel like you're more limited with a narrow boat. I lived on one for 4 years, says Catherine. Catherine, how was it? What were the drawbacks, and why don't you live on one now? No maintenance in 100 years. That's not true. No maintenance in 100 years. Oh, you mean the canal? Yeah, the canal's had no maintenance in 100 years. Like that one that collapsed recently with someone's boat in it. Would you prefer to have hair or 5 million subscribers? Does that mean, like, if I choose hair, can I just stay where I'm at now with the number of subscribers? Because I'm not interested in having 5 million subscribers. I'm not bothered, so I'll choose the hair. Has the internet been playing up, as I've seen a few lives coming up? Yeah, the internet's been playing up. My phone has been overheated. We've been stopping for lunch. You could refurbish a canal boat in 3 weeks though, Geoff. I reckon I could. It's a great lifestyle, warm with a wood burner, move somewhere for work, and there's no canal.
Daddy.
I'm in a static caravan. I'll take a static caravan over a canal boat every time.
Daddy,
Yes, mate.
why don't you just turn the caravan into a canal?
Why don't you turn the caravan into a canal boat?
Yeah, why don't you just make it float?
That's actually a great idea. So instead of renovating a canal boat, we just make our motorhome amphibious.
Yeah.
There you go. Small Geoff there has had the best idea. What we're going to do is we're going to amphibify the motorhome in just 3 weeks. Yeah, this is nice now. We're up out the rain. The sky is actually broken for the first time in like a week. We haven't really seen any blue sky for the last week. So quite enjoying this. Oh, I like that little building. Can we live there?
That's what our house looks like in Bulgaria.
No, our house in Bulgaria does not look quite like that. It's definitely better. I got a Mercedes Luton for turning into a boat. Anyone? Squirrel, you're gonna have to do something with that Luton before I have it off you and make it into something in 3 weeks. Boys, look at this. There's a giant ball up ahead. What on earth is that for?
Yeah, what on earth is that for?
It must be where a James Bond baddie lives and uses it to speak to aliens. Actually, I think it's something to do with that. There's obviously a dump there. See the digger up on top?
Yeah.
That's a landfill site. See all the birds?
Yeah.
I bet if you put your window down, it really smells.
What a mess.
Yeah, it's a
What is
landfill
it?
site. There's a landfill site over there, look. See all the birds? It means that's where everybody dumps their rubbish. Right, going around the Skoda.
How did you survive?
Police can close roads, but canals, not so
How
much.
do you survive something?
Yeah, but the problem is,
How
right?
do you survive?
Let's say the police were looking for you and you're on a canal and they're in the middle. They go, oh, well, which way did he go? Did he go left or did he go right? Because they're going to find you. Also,
Too fast.
you're You're doing 2 miles an hour. What they're going to do, they're going to walk along the footpath and be like, pull over, pull over. Oh, but I'm not, you'll never take me alive. I will get you when you get to the next lock then. How long before Stasi Starmer has the UK driving on the wrong side of the road so as to bring us an ever more harmonised EU? Yeah, you headed to the house in Bulgaria, Geoff, or headed home? Neither. I think we're going to Varna. Have you had a deposit yet?
No.
No, we're waiting for a deposit on this car. Oh yeah, there's 300 people watching now who don't know what we're doing. Become a Canal pirate. I love that idea. I really do. I reckon that's the one. Just literally be a pirate on the canal in a boat with no markings on it. What they're going to do? Yeah, so boat stands for bring out another 1,000. Yeah, I know. I love the idea of a boat. And the thing is, buying a boat is not the problem. Boats are always cheap. Yeah, boats are always cheap on marketplace. Oh, there's a guy in a high-vis just
Slowing and ending.
they're literally just sweeping the road. He's just walking out in the road to sweep the road. Love it. They'd close the road for that in the UK. Cool, still climbing. It's almost getting an alpine feel to it. Geoff buys boats. Yeah, it'll happen at some point. I will end up with a boat. Well, I've got my canoe, but I didn't use it last year. I used it the year before. I did a fair few live broadcasts from the canoe, which was really good fun. Close the road and get 100 cones. 100? That's nowhere near enough. We have a boat, but never have the time, so it sits. I like the idea of getting a boat, putting it on stilts and just living in it somewhere, like in the middle of a forest. Or get a boat and hoist it up into a tree and then live in the tree. That would be ideal. No, that'd be cool. I think I can see a caravan in Geoff Buys Cars' future. I can definitely see a caravan. So, cars for sale. My Ford Transit went on eBay, finished at £2,600, and the guy was a no-show, obviously. So, if you're looking for a Ford Transit, it's back on eBay. Go on eBay, type in Ford Transit camper van, and you'll find it. Until the tree explodes in an ice storm. Yeah, or you get one of those fires where, oh no, that's okay, because the trees don't burn, but the houses do, especially if they're connected to a smart meter. Someone says, where's your motorhome? I've almost finished it. It's probably going to be another 3 weeks. Yeah, English Family Thompson instead of Swiss Family Robinson. Now the motorhome's virtually finished. It's just that our plans changed a little bit. That meant we didn't actually need to finish it in 3 weeks. We'll get it done, and we'll have it out and ready for spring. I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but I can see, boys, look ahead, you can see the whole road for like 10 miles. That's so cool. You can see exactly where we're going, which is cool because we don't know where we're going. So if anybody's watching, we are heading towards a place that is not called Erdene, and if by the time we've got there someone has paid a deposit, then we're going to drive this silver Volvo C30 to Varna in Bulgaria, where we will sell it and we will retrieve my Volvo 850 TDI. That's the plan. And call the cocktails? No, I think we might. I'm about ready to break my no drinking thing. I could really do with a beer.
Yeah, well,
We have a few days of drinking.
no.
Try a Mitsubishi ASX, the best used all-wheel drive. I quite like those. They're a bit oddball as well, so they are a little bit Geoff. Yeah, a boat is like rented accommodation, temporary. Yeah, because I mean you've always got to do something. The thing is as well, right, with boats. I mean, let's be real here. Your boat wants to sink. Your boat literally doesn't want to be floating. It wants to be on the bottom. So your boat's always trying to get to the bottom, and it's your job to keep the boat off of the bottom. You don't have to do that with a car. I mean, yeah, your car wants to roll down a hill, but that's what your handbrake's for. Someone said dry January. Yeah, we just decided that we were done with drinking. We have done all of January so far, which I think is pretty good going, especially considering the weather that we've had. I mean, if you presented me with a cold pint right now, I'd say no thank you, I'm driving. But the government banned insulation, they told us to get many years ago. Now we can't sell the house without spending tens of thousands on a new roof. That's exactly what's happening. Is that what's happening to you, Hello Moto? I literally made a video about that probably 3 years ago, saying that's how they're going to take people's homes off them. Because what they're going to do with houses, and if you're not aware of this, this is all coming down the track. What they're going to do with houses is the exact same thing that they've done with road tax. So they've changed the emissions regulations on cars, which have priced people out of old cars. They're just going to keep doing it. Council tax is going to keep going up. Housing is temporary too. What they'll do is they'll say, oh, very sorry, your house no longer meets such and such emissions regulations. And to meet the new regulations, you need to spend 10 grand. And the first time you'll spend 10 grand, you'll be like, oh, you know, it's 10 grand, but we can do it. And then the next time they change the regulations, it'll be 25 grand. And you'll do it again. And the next time it'll be 50, and then 100, and then 200. And eventually they'll say to you, oh, what we can do is we can buy the house off you and we'll rent it back to you. And then you'll own nothing and you'll be happy. All of that's coming down the track. And you might as well believe me, because my predictions have been right about pretty much everything. Apart from, who's that princess? Kate. I said they'd kill Princess Kate. I was wrong about that. Unless she is now just an AI. What was that? They'll start taxing your house windows again. Yeah, that's all coming. Heat pumps are a good idea for tumble dryers, but a bad idea for central heating. Need a heat pump that's really bad, despite all the videos claiming how good they are. Heat pumps aren't taking heat from the environment, they're reverse fridges, so they use lots of electric. Yeah, and then people wonder why their electricity bills are so high. It's like, come on guys, do you not get it? They want you to be on, they want every one of your devices to be electric, so they can connect you to a smart meter, so they can switch you off. Like, how do people not understand it at this point? You know, you've had 6 years of the government lying to you, and you think that they're not lying about that? Is the Volvo V70 2.4 petrol engine any good? Yes. Yes, it is. Because it's simple, it's under-stressed. They, you know, you're not going to like drive a Volvo V70 2.4 non-turbo on the edge. They're a very smooth engine, and they tend to last. Make sure the cam belt's been done, and go for it. They're cheap to buy because nobody wants them, because they're getting expensive to tax, and they only do, I mean, if you're lucky you'll get mid-30s to the gallon. So yeah, Jeff, is the BMW F10 5 Series a good car? Which one's the F10? Because I lost interest at E39, so I don't know. Albania is the sweet spot, European without being in the EU. Someone says bless you, someone heard you sneeze. Can you buy cheap houses in Albania like you can in Bulgaria? I suppose that's probably a good shout, because all the bad, nasty Albanians are all in Britain anyway. So there must just be the good ones left in Albania. You see those statistics the other day that came out from Rupert Lowe, saying about the different nationalities of people and how often they get arrested, and how overrepresented Albanians are in the inmate population. It's quite interesting, really. Just bought a Nissan Micra 53 plate. Oh, nice. £330. Had to at this price. How many cars have you got? It's a good shout though. At 330, I would have bid for that. The F10 is 2010 to 2017, but I have the N52 naturally aspirated, so no turbos. Yeah, turbos are tricky on those BMWs. 2010 to 2017. It's pretty new, but it's not too new that it's, yeah, they're risky. Like anything new is risky, but it's still better than buying a brand new one. I don't know what the tech is like on those. I've never really had those 5 Series. I've always had the older stuff, but they're getting arch fine now. Getting my fuel lines replaced tomorrow. God knows how much that's going to cost. Depends on the car, I suppose, and how much they need to move to get the fuel lines in. You might be alright. 2 cars, 1 van, all for sale. You made me think this way. Everything should always be for sale, that's the thing. Like, everything's got a price. 520D is £35 on tax. Oh, that's good. Jeff, car recommend to help me move from Brum to North Scotland. About 10 return journeys and then dump. Okay, firstly, if you're doing 10 return journeys, you've got too much stuff. Secondly, just buy my transit van. It's on eBay, it's probably going to go for 1,500 quid, and it's massive. So I just do that. The MOT runs out in May, and you'll need to do some welding, but if you're moving before then, you'll be sweet. It'll go up and down the motorway all day long, and you can do it in less trips because it's big. I noticed my family pack of mini eggs shrunk by 14 grams. Yeah, shrinkflation is real. Loads of comments coming in fast then. I can't get to all of them at the same time. I'm trying to. I'm doing pretty well. I've been offered a 2010 Volvo V70 2.4 petrol, Japanese import, 148,000 miles. Is it cheap? How long are you out of the country? As long as we can be. I'm in Murcia, Spain.
I know what happened.
19 and sunny. Yeah, but it was raining earlier, wasn't it? Chocolate is getting very expensive. It's also well, just chocolate generally. Well, I guess we've noticed this as well. But I've noticed, ladies and gentlemen, are you noticing that chocolate just, because they've changed all the recipes now, particularly with the Cadbury stuff, it just doesn't taste as good anymore. Like, I used to absolutely gorge on Cadbury's dairy milk. It used to be my absolute favourite. And since they've changed the recipe, I ain't bothered. Don't really eat it anymore. Yeah, it's all palm oil. Correct. Whoever said that. The sun's shining on my phone. I can't see the names now. Jeff, thoughts on Richard's newest vid and the UK being second most depressing country? Richard sent me that video last night, and then Richard and I actually had a funny conversation on WhatsApp. Because I said to him, Richard, you're starting to sound a lot like me. And everything that he said is correct. Like, it's hilarious, isn't it? How can the UK be more depressing than Ukraine when Ukraine is at war and also quite a lot colder? 45 degrees in Wagga Wagga tomorrow. Wagga Wagga, what a great name. Should have kept palm oil in peanut butter. Spent so much time advocating it out, they worked out where else to put it. Yeah, it's a good point. Too much CBD makes you like that. What, too much CBD makes you depressed. Greetings, missed 1 and 2 and jumping in now. Hello if you're just jumping in. We're just discussing the fact that the UK is the second most depressed country in the world. I used to buy chocolate buttons just to open the bag and smell it. Good comment. Cadbury's Dairy Milk Chocolate is now made in Poland. Yeah, there's a really good YouTube video on what's happened to Cadbury's and how it's gone down the pan, and it's quite sad because the original founder, you know, wanted to do good for the community, and
That was a documentary.
what was that on Netflix? You watched that on Netflix?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good documentary about Cadbury. Question for the Spanish here. I have an XF number. Can I get residencia? Yeah, we started the chocolate debate. What great roads. Yeah, this road is great. I mean, there's the odd pothole, but you'll notice we're not stuck in traffic. And the road is flowing nicely. Have you got high-vis vest, bulbs, triangle? Yeah, I got all that. Got all that. Green card. What a load of crap. No, I haven't got a green card. I have got insurance to drive in this country, but no, I never got the green card. I don't know. What's the most depressed? I can't remember. I'd have to look at my WhatsApp. Did anybody watch Richard's video and know what the most depressed country is? Cadbury's board warned about the sale to Kraft, and within 3 months, Kraft broke their promises. Yeah, well, it's just big business for you, isn't it? Like, the inevitable end point of big business is it eats itself.
That's what the chap did in the McDonald's one as well.
Yeah, big business just eats itself. Will you ever do John O'Groats to Land's End again? Probably not, if I'm honest. I can't be bothered. I said to Lee, if we're going to do challenges, we're going to do European ones because they're just so much more enjoyable. Because it's not just the challenge itself; it's getting there and then getting back. That's always the problem. I had a nightmare. The last challenge we did, the Christmas special that you all watched recently, or you should have watched because it was very good. It took me a whole day to get there because we just moved house and I had to go and retrieve my cat beforehand. And then getting home was insane. I've never seen roadworks like it. So now I'm done with doing challenges in the UK now. Anything owned by BlackRock or Vanguard is shite. Yeah, it's all being deliberately collapsed, isn't it? The deliberate collapse of the West is ongoing. Excuse me. Got any more water? No. Are we all out?
No, I've got some.
Oh, I should have bought some of that soft drink. They had some at the last place. I meant to get some. Did I?
Yeah.
No,
You drunk it?
He had a milk and stuff. No, he didn't.
Cadbury's in New Zealand were found out to be using palm oil, and because of public pressure they stopped using it.
It's not a ball.
Then they shut the factory. Everything comes from their Tasmania factory. Uzbekistan is the most depressed. Going past a place called, can you see that road sign on the side of the road? It says TAT. TAT, what is it? TAT what? TAT Prince. Some factory of some sort. Tell you what, there's not a lot in this part of the world, is there?
Stop for a coffee.
Yeah. Geoff Buys Cars. What I do if you need to travel by car, any scanning, etc., etc. What do you mean?
I think they mean the demographic. Standing.
Oh, right. What, at the border? Yeah, they do check you on the way into Turkey. They're very funny about cars in Turkey. So your car is, like, this car is effectively connected to my passport, which means I'm the only person that can take this car out of the country. I couldn't sell it in Turkey, and I'd get in trouble if I left it in Turkey for too long. You get 90 days, which I don't think I'm over. November, December, January, we should be fine. So yeah, it should be fine. Even Lidl, Aldi are known for promoting quality products at a good price. Now stuff it all with palm oil. Yeah, everything's got palm oil in it. If it's not palm oil, then it's rapeseed oil. Guy did Athens in the E38 with the M Paras. Yeah, I like it. Right, we've done an hour. I've been chatting for an hour, so I think we're going to call it. We're going to go get a coffee, and we're going to get across some of this boring scenery, and maybe we'll broadcast again a little bit later on. So I think instead of making a feature film out of this drive, because there's not much to see or do, I'll just keep doing live broadcasts, because it's more interesting, isn't it? And it keeps us awake. So I'll quit the broadcast, and we'll see if this guy's messaged back about the car, and then that'll decide where we actually go to. So right, we're off for coffee, so we'll catch up with you all in a bit.